Oh yeah, so I said get fucked. Just because I did juggling in one video means I can't do it in another one? Oh hi! Newman the Film Rad here, practicing my hand-eye coordination as I am wont to do. Thinking about this spine-tingly, teeth-chattery indie horror I just saw called The R.I.P Man. Let's talk about it. The R.I.P Man is a 2025 feature-length indie horror film that was made in Sussex, of all places. Written by Rhys Thompson, directed by Jamie Langlands, and starring Maximus Pauling, Jasmine Keene, Bruno Cryan, Matt Whalen, and Owen Llewellyn. This film concerns a killer who we, the audience, know as the R.I.P. Man, whose modus operandi is to savagely kill his victims, drill out one of their teeth, all after having sent a text message warning them of their death. This film takes place in the fictional town of Tarker's Valley and concerns itself with young med students Donnie and Clarissa, whose friends are being picked off one by the R.I.P. Man. Hey. Anyway, to begin, the overall design of the R.I.P. Man I think is pretty damn cool. Sort of a punk rock aesthetic with the makeup and the costuming, giving something that is both freaky and kind of fun. Also, wonderful sound design throughout this flick, really good cinematography. Lots of moments look very good, sound very good. And I also appreciate the wind-up, chattering teeth that serve as the killer's calling card. It also creates a lot of nice possibilities for sound and general creepiness throughout. Also, the kills and the gore effects are quite nice, particularly one throat slashing that I thought was outstanding. And also, just the notion of forced dentistry is pretty good and creepy. The idea of taking those very teeth from people and building out your own smile, that's proper fucked up, my friends. One detail I'd love to highlight as far as the cinematography is concerned is a great shot where our lead detective, who is hunting down this killer with his partner, is sitting alone at his desk, and there is light coming through the window, but we've got the shadow of the shades kind of on top of him. It looks really good. But of course, it wouldn't be very proper or honest to only talk about my likes, because to be perfectly frank, there were a number of things I was a little dissatisfied with concerning this film. To begin, the writing. I think that the script really needed another once-over. I feel that a lot of the dialogue is too slow, it's poorly paced, there's lots of unnecessary dialogue throughout the film. For example, we learn pretty early on that one character has a fear of heights. That never ends up mattering. Also, we spend some time establishing that these characters are med students. Again, doesn't end up mattering or factoring into the plot at all. R.I.P. is never actually uttered by anybody in the film, which, considering that's the name of the killer and the title of the movie, I found that a little distracting and jarring. The script is just incredibly overstuffed. You've got Italian dental death clan, you've got clandestine adoption history, you've got this building of a smile with your victim's teeth, but with so few victims that kind of doesn't go anywhere. I also feel the film suffers from a lot of dispassionate directing. The actors often are very mechanical and slow in their scenes. There's just not a lot of urgency moving us through the scene work. And so it creates a fairly dull, sluggish experience, especially during the first half, when other than the kills themselves, you as the viewer don't have a lot to go on as far as what's going on and why. And then at about the halfway mark, we have a massive exposition dump that gives us just a ton of background info and lore. For my taste, that was very jarring and abrupt. I would have liked it a lot better if that info had been more gradually drip-fed throughout the first half. Overall, it's a very mixed bag experience depending on what you're looking for in an indie slasher. This might very well be right up your alley. There is going to be a sequel to this. It's been announced. The R.I.P Man 2, Rest in Pain Again. And I'm honestly curious to check it out. If the script for the next one can be just a little tighter, if we can chop out some of the unnecessary bells and whistles, and it's a little less overstuffed, if we can improve the pacing and give us a little more urgency pushing us through this plot and just focus a bit more, I think it's entirely possible that the sequel might very well surpass this one. The R.I.P. Man is free to watch with ads on Plex, and you can rent it at a very reasonable price on YouTube. Learn even more about this film by going to these Instagram handles right here. Ow. Oh. 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 So, when all is said and done on the R.I.P. Man, I guess the bowl is half-baked. Thanks so much for coming to another video review of Movies 4 Days. Your non-pretentious easy access movie chat podcast. Check me out on Twitter and YouTube, on Instagram, on the Slasher app. I need to check to see just how much blood a person can lose from their mouth before they might pass out. But let me remind each and every one of you to always get your drugs from a trusted source. Do not talk to the police. And if you're re-upping your medical coverage, check and see if dental's included. It's a good idea.